Hello, it's Amy from Amy's Free Motion Quilting Adventures. That's my blog. You can find it at freemotionquiltingadventures.com. You can find my website at Amy's Quilting Adventures. And I'm going to just do a quick little ruler work demo on this 9-patch block. This is an orphan block from my Craftsy video class that I did. And I'm going to just show a simple way that you can put some quick quilting on a block that's fairly large without having to buy a huge ruler. It's not a small ruler, but it's not huge either. So a lot of people who've been watching what I'm doing, I teach quilting with rulers. That's what I teach on Craftsy. Quilting with rulers on a home machine, and creative quilting with rulers, more techniques and motifs. Yes, it's a mouthful. A lot of people are using the Westerly ruler foot with the rulers. So this is the starter ruler that comes with those ruler feet. It is called the 12-inch arc. They call it the 12-inch arc, but this is also the 12-inch arc. And so to clarify between the two, I call it the 12-inch arc straight ruler that comes from the ruler foot package. And that's this one. So it's straight on one side, curved on the other. It's a great ruler. It's a little short. It won't reach across a whole lot of a block. Great for probably if I wanted to stitch these squares individually, but it's not going to do a nice big block very well. So what I've got is the 12-inch arc ruler from them. It's got the same exact curve as this ruler, same shape curve, but it's a longer length ruler, so you've got a little bit more to work with here. And it's also the same curve on the inside as it is on the outside. So this is a high shank version of their ruler. This is a thinner low shank version of their rulers. They're two different thicknesses, and I talk about that in my Quilting with Rulers classes. I also talk about it on my blog. If you don't know the differences, you need to know the differences so you pick the right rulers for your machine. You can use a variety of rulers on almost all machines, but you can't position them the same way. So what I'm going to do is, this ruler's nice and big, and in theory I could go from corner to corner with this ruler, but that's not what I want to do here. I want to do a design that's kind of going in the middle. It's a great design if I didn't have a ruler that's quite this long, maybe with like a 10-inch curve. So what I've done is I've marked the center sections here between the corners, because you need to see how you would do this without doing a whole lot of rotating and flipping. And right here in this corner, I'm going to stop right here at the seam that I've just gone across, and it just gives me a chance to reposition my hands and also to check my spacing over here on this end, so that I am going to end up with my ruler 1/4 of an inch away from that marking. Before you get right to where your ending point is, or you need to stitch, you've got a little room to adjust that ruler if you need to. I'm just heading towards that marking, and I'm going to remember to stop so that I'm 1/4 of an inch away from that edge. So again, I don't want to chop off my points. So I've stopped. I'm just going to move this over here. Again, I'm not going to adjust it. And now I can see a little bit better. So I've got the ruler going off this way. I don't have the bulk of the machine in my way. That is one benefit to using a sit-down long arm. If you've been contemplating such a purchase, a sit-down long arm will allow you to see a lot more of your project. And again, I'm stopping right there on that seam so I can just kind of reposition. It gives me a good place to adjust where it's not going to be real visible. Come down into that point. Put that over there. We'll just go ahead and use the outside. The inside curves are easier to stitch. It's kind of because that curve nestles around the foot. and just makes it a little bit easier to control. They each have their own strengths for particular things, but it's nice to have the same curve on both sides. That way you've got the option, depending on where you're stitching, to place your ruler where you need it, regardless of the interior or exterior curve. So there's my third point. Line in my sewing, or maybe even a pleat. And we don't want that. I want to make sure everything's nice and square and flat. I am stitching on a Janome 8900, so it is an 11-inch throat machine, so it does give me quite a bit of room to move around. The point of the ruler just got hung up on my table insert. I don't have a very big Supreme slider on this particular table. I'll tell you, I'm in the shop, So Simple of Lynchburg. I am a Janome dealer, which is why I get to show you all these different machines. But it seems every single machine is set up different. This is something I have seen Linda Herka do. She is the creator of the quilted pineapple rulers, and I'm just freehanding this. I probably could do it with a straight ruler, and I may do that on some of these other corners. But right now I'm just freehanding it. Quilted pineapple rulers. She does absolutely gorgeous ruler work, and a lot of her designs, she takes time to plan them out so that they are continuous, because you don't want to have to do a whole lot of stops and starts and stops and starts. And I probably should have marked that center position so that I have a better place to go down into there, but I'm just eyeballing it for this video. I am going to grab that other ruler because it does have the straight edge, so I can head down into that point nice and straight. Anytime you've got a straight line, it needs to be straight. So the only reason that I need to go out to that point for this is so that I don't have one corner that goes from the outside set of lines to the inside set of lines when the rest are different. So that you want all 4 points to look the same. Don't know if I'm explaining it very well tonight. It's getting a little late here. So I'm going to continue that echo. I'll stop right there and just reposition just a hair. I can see I'm getting a little bit off center, so I'm just going to adjust the ruler. I never adjust the ruler by moving the ruler away. Always keep your ruler up against the foot. If you need to reposition, keep it up against the foot and reposition farther away. There we go. I'm just going to use that straight ruler again, going out to the point. I did a poor job of getting that nice straight line. Well, that's okay. This is just a demo. And I'm going to go ahead and use I'm going to use the outside and get a better echo that way, because you want to use those markings. Get that up just a little bit. One thing about the difference between the quilted pineapple rulers and the Westerly rulers is they do their 1/4 inch offsets differently on their arcs. And if you watch my free motion quilting with rulers classes, I go into a better explanation of what that means, what the difference is. There is a difference, and depending on the designs you want to make, you need to know what that difference is and which ruler you would pick for which design. Back out to that corner, because that's so pointy I don't have to go all the way out. Position just a smidge more. We're almost back at our starting position. Remember, when you cross seams is a great time to reposition your ruler. Take a break, reposition your hands. Going extra slow to make sure that my starting and my ending finish up at the same point. And they did. So add more quilting to it. But let me just go ahead and secure my threads. A couple of stitches in place. And cut them. Okay, so there's the block that I stitched. You can see that diamond going from the center sides on each side, and how I went inside and did a echo there. And the next thing we're going to do is go back in here and put some fills in the center, and I think I'm going to do some feathers out here in the corners. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed watching how to fill in a large block with ruler work designs without having a gigantic ruler. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.